What's up, leaders? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Lead From Here Podcast. I'm Jason. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about life and how life can kind of go sometimes, and I wanted to make sure that, after we dove so deep into time management and how Pomodoro works and how time blocking works and time management matrix and all those things, and ultimately like me talking through like what my system looks like and how great it works and how awesome it is. Ultimately, all that stuff is great and fantastic and generally what you should be striving to get to on a daily basis. But I've seen a lot of people that kind of go hard and then they want to do all this and do it all perfectly, and then they get frustrated or burnt out when things don't work out. And I think it's really important to call out that it's not going to work 100% of the time all the time. That's not really how time management works. It's also not how life works generally. Like ultimately you have to figure out how to find the balance and the understanding that consistency is not about always going 100% and doing everything and using your all day from when you wake up to when you go to bed on effective things that need to get done for your job or for your side job or for your family or whatever. Like there needs to be a balance of that, sure, but you're not going to have 100% every day, right? A lot of people want to pretend like that's how life works and how people work. It's just not how the mind or the body works ultimately. Like you're going to feel up and down based on how you're doing from a physical perspective, from a mental perspective, from a life perspective, what's going on around you. If you lost somebody, are you dealing with relationships problems, are your kids sick, or whatever could be going on in your life that is impacting your ability to be at 100%. There's people who will say, I go 110% every single day, and I think that's awesome. It's something to strive for sure, but it's important to understand what 110% means. You're not going to feel 100% every day. You're not going to be able to do the same work at the same level every single day of the year in and year out. That's just not how it works. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. And as long as you remember that and keep that in mind, if you wake up in the morning and your body is hurting or you're sick and you've only got 40% in you, if you do all 40%, that's 100%. If you do 50%, you're at 100 and whatever that is. You're over 100%. That's important to keep the balance and understand that it's going to look like this. But as long as you keep putting in the work day after day, whether that's your actual 100% or at your 40%, over time you will build consistency and you'll get to where you want to go. So don't beat yourself up if you have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month. I have them all the time. I'm in the middle of one right now. In the last couple of weeks, it's been hard for me to keep focused on everything that's going on at work, everything that's going on in the family, the travel, birthdays, kids stuff. All of that stuff is all kind of weighing on me lately. And then also I'm going through a very frustrating time with my body and where it's not as strong and physical as I want it to be in life generally. So there's a lot of things that are competing against me being that 100% guy every day, and it's something that I have to find a way to balance and get through. That is the real life, and I didn't want to put a lens on life that like, oh no, like I hit this time management thing every single day and everybody else should too, and everybody that you talk to probably is doing the same thing. No, the reality is that you have to get up and push through anyway, but it still may not be your best. Anybody that tells you that they're at peak efficiency every single day of the year in, year out, is kidding themselves or lying. Like, it's one of the two. The reality is that's just not how life works. Ultimately, you're going to run into situations where it's not working effectively. You're not as efficient. Yes, you still may get stuff done. You still may do your job. You still may show up to work and still knock out 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or whatever it is you do, 15 hours. Who cares what the number is? You still may do what you normally do, but if you're really honest with yourself, you're not always 100% doing the best work you possibly can. You will absolutely go through spans where you are that person. You are crushing it, you're doing it, you're knocking it out. For sure, you will absolutely hit those runs, but it's important to remember that when those runs come to a halt, that's not something to feel bad about or judge yourself about or get down about or burn out over. It's just the cycle of life, and it's important to understand like how you can get yourself out of it so you don't sit in that rut, because it's just not fun to be in that rut, right? So whether that's being physical, taking time off, whether that's spending more time with your family, it's individualized, and you need to know what you need to do, and if you don't know, experiment. Just keep trying. And that will eventually show you a way to shorten those windows where you're down or frustrated or not feeling great. They come. So it's important for you to be prepared for that and know what to do when they do. I think this is enough. Really what I care about is that you are finding happiness and balance in your day-to-day leadership life and your day-to-day life in general. And it's interesting that a lot of people kind of preach this like, oh, I'm 100% all the time. You're not. You're just not going to be, and that's okay. But as long as you kind of keep the discipline in place and continue to push forward, even if it's just a little bit every day while you're going through the down periods, the slow periods, or going through personal problems. As long as you're kind of just doing something to kind of keep yourself moving, that is the most important thing. You will have times where you'll be 110% every day for a few weeks and things will be rolling and you'll be happy as can be. Then you'll have times where it's not. And so as long as you learn to process that and deal with it and find ways to shorten that window, you'll be much happier in the long run. But also, go easy on yourself. Everybody goes through this. it's important to keep moving, but also don't beat yourself up. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, hit me up, Jason@leadfromhere.co. Otherwise, take care of yourself, and remember, you're not going to be perfect every day. Just do the best you can and keep moving forward. Take care.